What's good, everyone? It's your boy Natsu with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DMVSportsZone. I got a very, very, very special guest, very long-awaited guest on the channel in Jeris's corner, otherwise known as Chris. Chris, thank you so much for joining, bro. Appreciate you. I know we've had our back and forth in the past, but is there anything you want to plug first before we get started?
Nah, I'm just ready to just get it in. I'm ready to get it
It's
in.
like that. It's like that. Okay. First topic that I want to discuss with you is the little bit of news that was released today. As 1067 The Fan first reported, D'Angelo Hall, and this is from a Nikki Jibabala. I always butcher her last name tweet. D'Angelo Hall will no longer be on the Commanders' color commentator on game days. London Fletcher will take his place and could possibly be involved in more game day broadcast, according to two people with knowledge of the situation. What are your thoughts on D'Angelo Hall being pushed out of the radio booth and London Fletcher taking his place?
I never even knew that. But did he just want to leave, or they just?
I'm not sure. That's literally the only bit of news that I heard. I'm not sure. Like
they made a good pick in picking Lyndon Fletcher, but I never really listened to D Hall. Other than like his little talk shows that they be having, the mini talk shows we be having on YouTube. Other than that, but outside of that, I never really listened.
I feel like it might be just because he's trying to make the most out of his opportunity. He of course has like the NFL Network work that he does right now, and maybe he's trying to he thinks he's beyond like the radio booth for the team, which I kind of understand. If you're already at NFL Network and you want to elevate, I guess I understand.
A little more.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, and I always felt it was kind of weird when he was supposed to be a team representative in the radio booth, but then on NFL Network, sometimes he would talk down about the team and I don't know. I always felt weird about that, but that was the only bit of news that was released today about our team. But the next question I'm going to ask you: what are your thoughts on the Terry McLaurin situation? And him reportedly not participating in on-field training. But according to Logan Thomas, he's doing everything else everybody else is doing, just not stepping foot on the field and risking injury. What are your thoughts on that situation? And do you think Washington will eventually sign him to a new contract?
I don't think any one of those dudes are signing until Debo signs. Because I think Debo's saying he want 30. I think Debo probably gets in that ballpark of 26 to 28. So I think, hey, Debo set that mark. They all feel like they all are better than Debo. So it's like if he sets that mark, then
you
don't have
Terry's better than Debo?
Yeah, he's better than Debo.
I don't know about that. In terms of a weapon, I would say Debo Samuel's better. In terms of like a wide receiver, like a pure wide receiver, I would agree.
Debo doesn't want to be used as a weapon. That's the point, which is why he wants to leave them.
I guess, but I also think the money has a lot to do with it. If he's getting paid $28 million to play his wideout role, then I think he would.
And those guys are going to say, hey, your negotiations now start at 24, and it's not going to end up at 25 for Terry.
Okay.
Those dudes, especially AJ might reset it because he's way better. He's definitely better. All of them better. I don't think DK's better than Debo. I'm not a DK fan, but AJ and Terry are better than Debo, and they're gonna say, "Hey, we better than him."
I don't know. The thing about AJ though, he's always injured. Like I've had him in fantasy for 2 straight years, and this man's cannot stay on the field. Like he always has something going on. And I don't know.
That many games. Let me see.
AJ Brown, he's either missed a lot of games or he's been hurt while playing, which is not great. I think fantasy purposes.
They played 17 games this year, so he missed 4. The previous he missed 5.
Compared to the other guys,
he missed 5. So
exactly.
But yeah. But that's why I'm thing with Debo though. Debo just not healthy. He was healthy for 1 year. Yeah, but you can't bank on that. He only did it for 1 year.
I mean, it was a 17-game stretch, and he was healthy for it, like the entire season.
Yeah, but that was 1 year. Can you really bank it? When the previous 2, he was injured the whole entire time.
It's fair.
Especially after the beating he took. who knows if he's able to replicate, that as a receiver. So if I'm negotiating with him, I'm gonna say, hey, I don't know what you're going. You ain't played X amount. I mean, hey, those dudes don't really have that much of a bargaining chip because you just said the injuries, and then with Debo injuries, you only had one good year. Terry has a whole slew of bargaining chips. Those other guys really don't, other than they can hold their teams hostage.
That's fair. I just think if Debo gets paid, the type of money you are expecting, a lot of people are expecting $27-28 million. I think the burden will be on the team if he gets injured. And I think that's why, like, if he gets paid that amount, he'll be more inclined to play the wideout position, or at least to like be a little bit more versatile. Just because if he does get injured, he won't have to deal with the repercussions really, because especially if he gets a lot of guaranteed money in his new contract.
Yeah, but that's our incentivize the mess out of Debo contract
for sure. Yeah. Shout out to Gary Coleman and Tim. Tim was first, but Gary Coleman here with the comment. What's up, fellas? Give me Sauce at 11. Jeris put me on Pubba today. I like him a lot. Sauce at 11? You said it. He won't be there, right?
He won't be there. He won't. He's too good.
Thoughts on like what team will pick him for us?
I think the Giants. I think he's going from that 7 range, and that the 1 to 7. Well, he's not going 1, but 4 to 7. He's in that ballpark range.
Hopefully,
I think he goes to 8, 9. Seattle's not taking him. Atlanta's not taking him, and the Jets probably. They probably would, but they're more inclined to probably go elsewhere than corner. So I think ideally the Giants take him. And it makes sense, especially that the division you're in with the receivers that you're playing.
What solid corner does the Jets have right now, though? That like
nobody that I can think of, but I don't think they would want to build that when you can build the D line with Quentin Williams and add that down there, and you start building that D line up when you can probably, you know what I mean? So they probably can go different that way, in that direction. And I don't think he lasts till 10. So I think if you go to 10, somebody might say, hey, Sauce. They might call to try to get up there. So I don't think he lasts till 10. And I think Carolina is definitely a team that's lurking that possibly can go ahead and snatch him up.
Especially after Gilmore was signed with another team, the Colts, I think. Yeah, I would agree with you there. As long as the Giants don't get icky, because I didn't mention this too much on this channel before. Yeah, I didn't mention this too much on this channel, but I don't know if like friends is too strong of a term. I know of his sister. Like she went to my college and like we like chat and all that. So it's like I'm rooting for him. I want him to do well. I don't want him to go to an NFC East team. I want him to get picked number 1 overall. That would be nice. But like to the Giants, that would be I
think he might be on the Giants too, honestly.
I know. But I'll still be happy for him either way. Yeah, for sure. But it's just cool seeing him like placed at number 1 on certain draft boards. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah. He was number 2. Like that's wild. That's wild from NC State. That's wild. Good evening from Gerald. Appreciate you for joining. Ahmed, pay Terry ASAP. I don't know. I think we can't.
You can't.
Why?
You can't pay him.
Why?
Because
why not?
You can't. I'm not saying you can't pay him as you can. I'm saying you can't pay him right away. That's not a guy that you because he's not going to. You have to. Their first offer to him has to blow him completely away. Because if you come to him with something dumb now, because I think people are getting comfortable thinking, oh, Terry's not going to request a trade. I beg to differ. That first offer that you come at him with better not be disrespectful or, hey, I'm requesting a trade. They have to blow because you got to think if Debo and them haven't already signed, well, I think Debo's going to sign way before that time. But if they haven't, you better give me, if Debo over here talk about he want 30, and if he get in that ballpark, I'm going to be mad if I didn't wait. So you got to come at me with a 25 out the gate. This is what we're going to get. And now I think if they come out here with like a 25 a year, he signs that immediately. But if you come at him with 21, 22, he going to laugh at you and say, no, I'm good. We'll wait for Debo.
Yeah. I think it's telling, though, that on the interview between Logan Paulson and Ron Rivera, like they had the 17 helmet like placed right there in the middle. Like I think the Commanders want to bring him back. I think like you, like it's all about the price point, 25 million. I'll say this. A lot of people on Twitter, I don't know why, they think Terry's going to sign back for like $21 million a year. Like that's laughable to me. He's at least going to ask for 25 million. Whether you think he's worth it or not, he knows his market. He knows how much he means to his team. He knows our wide receiver situation right now. So
quarterback situation. But we can get into that deeper later on.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that soon. But the next question I wanted to ask you, since you mentioned Deebo Samuel, since we've been talking about him, thoughts on like what team would potentially trade for him and whether I'm assuming you're a no for Washington, right?
No,
okay.
I'm not. No, because that no. The Jets makes the most sense because they got the money. Now the Packers, obviously, the Chiefs, I heard just put their name in the hat. You know, obviously those teams.
The Jets have Elijah Moore too, another Ole Miss guy.
I think Chiefs, Jets, Packers. Yeah, I say yeah to those because they got the capital right now. So I think in that ballpark, yeah, they can do it.
And I mentioned the Ole Miss thing because I screwed up because initially there were rumors about DK Metcalf also going to the Jets, like if he so chooses to request a trade. Yeah,
that's still possible.
Or AJ Brown.
And that's another. I'm almost certain if Deebo get what I think he's gonna get, DK they not paying DK that, and they don't need to. And I agree with them. They not paying him. DK out the door.
I feel like DK makes more sense to trade away because like you're in a full on rebuild right now. You have Drew Lock at your quarterback.
I don't believe that though. I think personally, I don't.
DK is not more.
Their offense, as far if I'm in Seattle, their offense is ready to go. You got Noah Fant. You still got Tyler Lockett. You got DK. I think you need another running back because what's his name can't stay healthy. What's his name? Chris Carson can't stay healthy. Yeah. He probably get you. You know what I mean? If you use that 9th pick. I'm not a fan of Malik Willis at all. I think that'd be a horrible pick. But hey, you know what I mean? Or you can go in a different direction at 9. I think they'll be all right. But if they truly want to go full on rebuild, then trading DK would be. All right, cool, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Seattle is making it known that they're in a full rebuild right now versus the 49ers who were just coming off an NFC championship, appearance. I feel like Deebo also is more impactful, more important on the 49ers than a DK Metcalf. Even last year when Russell Wilson came back, he wasn't even targeting DK. I feel like DK had a down year, and that might actually go towards your point. Right, that might strengthen it because he had a down year, so his trade value would probably be less than it would be. But then again, he has Drew Lock at quarterback, so I don't think his trade value will get that much better, to be honest. But Jason here with a comment: 5 years, 110 million for Terry. I still think that's a little low. Again,
what's that? How much?
22 million. 22 million.
Yeah. Sorry, you're laughing at that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we as fans have to realize that signing a new contract involves two partners. Involves the team, which I think is asking for 21, 22 million, and it also involves the player, who I think is asking for at least 25. So I feel like it might be sort of towards the 23, 24, 25 at least for Terry, just because even while the stats might not be gaudy, the impact is there. It's not just what he brings on the field, but also off the field in terms of leadership.
Okay, you can say the stats, but in terms of what he's dealt with, the stats are what they are. You're able to put up those numbers with what he's going through. Nobody else is doing that outside of Diop, and I keep saying that.
Yeah, and I think the season coming up will probably be Terry. If he stays on this team, will probably be his best season.
That's the thing. That's why I keep telling people. Terry's what you don't want Terry, and I keep telling you what you don't want Terry to do is he goes out here, he has a 1,500+ yard season, which I believe he will, 10 touchdowns, and he comes back and say, "Hey, I need more money," and he can do that because that's what the numbers project out. And I don't want him coming back. I would give it to him, but I don't want him coming back asking for that, knowing that I got Cam coming up. We'll see what Chase do. But if Chase performs, I got Chase coming up. I got Tez coming up. You don't want to get in that kind of bind. just break him off the most that you possibly can break him off, so he don't come back asking. You know what I mean? You don't want to put yourself in that position.
No, that makes sense. It's a good point. But another guy who's going into his contract here, who I don't think anybody's talking about right now, of course, with the whole Terry McLaurin news, is Daron Payne. He's entering his last year of his rookie contract in 2022. Very few people, once again, are actually talking about him. Thoughts on bringing him back and what type of contract you want to see for him?
I want him gone. And you know how I felt about Daron, especially after that Tampa game.
You thought he was better than Jonathan Allen at one point, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he was. And if he stayed on that trajectory after that Tampa game, I would have been right. But he just never hit his potential. And like I say, you going in your 5th year now. I'm not waiting no more. Now, if he comes out and just does what I thought he would do, I think about it, but I try to trade the mess out of him. And I wanted to trade him this year because you let him walk. I'm tired of letting these dudes walk. Brandon walk for nothing. Trent for nothing. Now Daron for nothing. I'm tired of that. Get me something.
Yeah.
Okay, like in this draft, especially in this one, hey, I want Daron for 3rd, 4th. Like, give it up. Just give it up now. Why wait? But then again, you can't now because you ain't got no depth. So now you screwed. Hands tied behind your back. But my deal, you ain't getting no more than 14. You 14. Sure, you can have that. 4 years, 14 a year. Whatever that comes out to.
That's not going to happen.
I didn't leave him. Bye.
That's not 4 years for $14 million. That's definitely not going to happen.
No, I'm not saying like 4 years, 14. I'm saying like 14 a year.
Oh, 14 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair in terms of what we're gonna probably offer, but at the same time, he's probably gonna ask for more than that.
For what?
I don't know. He's young. He's a good talent.
Listen,
first round pedigree.
I'm not a John Allen fan, but he ain't getting close to 17.
Whoa. You're still not a John Allen fan?
No, I'm not a John Allen fan.
Oh.
I'm not a John Allen fan. But John Allen got 4 years. 4 years.
He's here on a relatively cheap contract too. For
John Allen got 4 years, $72 million. I'm not paying Daron anything close to that because you didn't perform the way the way that you were supposed to. Sorry, not sorry. That was your fault. Now, none of them did. To me personally,
yeah,
all of them underachieve in some form of capacity. Personally, I'm disappointed in all of them.
Bro, Jonathan Allen has been better than Daron Payne since he's been here. Yes, he has. I'm glad that a lot of people see the light now, see the stats that he's putting up. But if you look at his PFF rating, if you look at what scouts have been saying for several years now, Jonathan Allen has always been the better talent. Last year, I had the nail on its head when it came to projecting his contract. I thought he was getting paid $18 million a year. I remember putting a tweet out. Everybody was like, you're crazy. We should not sign him for that much money. He hasn't put up the sack numbers. But people don't realize when you're an interior defensive lineman, it's more than just sacks. Bro, when you're an edge rusher like Chase Young and Montez Sweat, sacks is the
never said John Allen was trash.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just backing him up because you're saying
you're
not a fan of it.
Let me tell you. Let me clear this up. This is my problem with Jonathan Allen. That is really not his fault. It's people like you and others who try to put him in the Aaron Donald, Chris Jones conversation.
He's in the Chris Jones conversation.
Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind for not thinking he is? He's definitely not in the Aaron Donald. Nobody's in the Aaron Donald.
Jones take over games. I have not seen John Allen take over one.
I wouldn't say.
What was it? The Bengals game? That Bengals game? The way he was obliterating double teams, getting to Joe Burrow.
Did he have like 3 sacks in a game, or like was about to have 3?
Oh,
something like that.
But my thing is, I see John Allen. He's good. I'm not putting him in that stratosphere with those dudes. And that's
definitely in the Chris Jones conversation.
No, he's not. Well,
yes, he is.
You crazy.
When it comes to everything he brings to the table, yes, he is.
No.
His leadership, his sacks numbers, his setting up teammates for sacks as well. You got to stop, Chris. You got to stop.
Bro, there's no way you believe that John Allen is close to
Jonathan Allen is one of the top 3 or 4 defensive tackles in this league right now.
He's not top 5.
You think he's not? We just came off of 420. You are high.
Bro,
you think he's not, bro.
It's no way. It's no way. I guarantee you right now, if for the same contract, Ron Rivera and them, right now, talent alone, they do Chris Jones, John Allen. They traded John Allen out of here for Chris Jones. Same age, if they're the same age, because I think
Jonathan Allen's a much better what we've seen. Jonathan Allen's a much better leader. He brings all the intangibles.
I'm just saying on talent. They're taking Chris Jones.
Allen's a beast.
Same age. He ain't Chris Jones. You crazy.
Jonathan Allen's a beast.
And my problem with Jonathan Allen is he's inconsistent. I'm not the only one that says that.
Whoa, not last year.
No, he was inconsistent last year. He was.
Bro, do you expect a sack a game? Is that the type of defensive line?
No. What I'm saying is I would see him in the first quarter. The next 3, he's non-existent. I have a problem with that.
And he's non-existent when it comes to making sacks.
In his games,
he also forces pressures.
His games like against Seattle, where I expect him to dominate a game like that, he doesn't. A game like the Oakland Raiders doesn't. And then a game in the Giants where that first quarter, he had 2 sacks. You know, I'm on a John Allen train. I'm like, okay, John Allen, you showing me something. I ain't seen nothing from him for the next 3 quarters. I'm like, what are you doing? I have a problem with that. His consistency is what bothers me. It's too many times when you no-show. I have a problem with that. That was my only problem with John Allen last year, the inconsistencies.
First off, I think no-shows for you mean no sacks because
no-show meaning you're not
double teams, like Tim is saying right here.
If you want to say facing double teams, that means somebody else need to get off, right? Why did the others get off? So he obviously
because they're not impact. They didn't show up last year. That's the point. First off, Chase Young had 1.5 sacks through 9 games. He had a bust of a year.
He's facing
that's what
teams. If he is what you say he is, he beats the double team. He can't.
He does. He beat the double teams to the tune of what 9.5 sacks last year, something like that.
Yeah, I was single. Most of those sacks were single.
He's in the interior. He's not an edge rusher.
Most of those sacks came on one-on-ones. Let's not do that.
Okay. Even if they came on one-on-ones, what about the guys that are on the offensive line that he just beat past? Like it wasn't just, it wasn't just no names that he beat past.
Like, let's be real.
What?
I'm not saying he didn't earn his Pro Bowl. I'm not saying that John Allen is a good player. What I'm saying is he's not what y'all think he is.
Wasn't okay. He's not. He is a top 5 interior defensive line. Why though?
I think
why? Because he doesn't show up.
I think he meant.
I think for you,
but like
top 10,
you gotta dominate for me, bro. You gotta dominate for me. He doesn't dominate.
He does dominate, bro. You're making me pull up.
When I look at Allen. Listen, bro. This is what I'm talking. When I look at Chris Jones, I see this dude wreaking havoc the entire game. They're struggling to handle this man. I see him wreaking havoc. I don't see John Allen wreaking havoc. I'll see him wreaking havoc on a play or 2. Or like it'd be like a little stretch where I'm saying, oh, John Allen out here. But now it's like the rest of the game. Where the heck are you?
Bro, Jonathan Allen had more sacks, more tackles last year than Chris Jones. They had the same amount of sacks. Chris Jones hasn't had more than 9 sacks since 2018. I'll give you this. In terms of full career, I'm going with Chris Jones. But in terms of where we're at right now, I'm going with Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen is on the upward swing.
Take John Allen over Chris Jones.
I disagree. If you're talking about potential,
until John Allen has a Chris Jones kind of an impact game, I'm not giving it to him. It's got to be a game with John Allen, a real meaningful game where John Allen just dominates from snap 1 to the end. If I can't give it to him.
That's not how you measure.
Can't give it to him.
I think you're comparing everybody to Aaron Donald, which is
I'm not comparing.
He's top 5 defensive.
This is
player of all time.
What fans like you do. I'm not saying that you do it, but I'm saying like you. I see fans comparing them. Oh, look at his stats to Aaron Donald's. You're crazy.
No, Who said that? I didn't mention Jonathan
you,
Allen.
but I'm saying fans. There are fans who literally compare Jonathan Allen to Aaron Donald.
There are also fans that think we're getting a 2017 Carson Wentz instantly this year just because he's on our team. People who are fans of Carson Wentz because he's on our team, but he's on another team.
That's something logical. That's logical.
How's that?
John Allen.
How's that logical?
Is not. We gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. But John Allen is not logical sense for him to be in that ball, but he hasn't dominated the game. And not to mention, last time I checked, Aaron Donald not playing with Chase Young. Aaron Donald not playing with Daron Payne.
Why are you
Aaron Donald not playing with
Aaron Donald? I started off my take by
I'm saying he has those guys, and you haven't dominated a game yet. I'm not giving it to you. You got to dominate.
Same amount of sacks, more tackles than Chris Jones.
You talking to me
probably forces more pressures than Chris Jones as well. Like, come on, what are we talking about? What is he more dominant?
Where's it shown? Where's it shown?
What do you mean? Where's it?
Y'all say on the field? More pressures. Where's the pressure, dude? They got all day against us.
Jonathan Allen was arguably our most important player. Period. Not defensive player. Period. Last year. Yes.
No, I wouldn't argue.
Yes. I mean, Terry is probably the only other guy that you would argue for last year.
I would definitely want to say that, but John Allen was good last year. But
good? He was great last year.
Good. No,
he was great. He was great.
It was
Jonathan Allen
no show for me.
Jonathan Allen was great last year.
Just no show, bro. That's a fact. He no show.
How is 9 sacks? How is 9 sacks and 62 tackles?
And that's the problem. And shout out Ed Oliver. This man, Ed, and I love Ed. And he's the guy that I refer to a lot of my videos. When I say there's a YouTuber, but I say it's Ed now. He said John Allen, he got a sack. He had a good game. He had 1 sack, and that was in the first quarter. He disappeared, and he said he had a good game. That's the problem that I have. Y'all doesn't disappear 9 sacks. I don't care about sacks.
No, I'm bringing that up to show you that if you're just looking at sacks alone,
I'm not looking at that.
And pressures as well, and setting up teammates for sacks. Jonathan Allen does a marvelous job at that.
I'm not saying. Listen. I'm saying he doesn't do that consistently enough. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Cameron Cheeseman, man. I mean, we traded up for him.
He doesn't do it enough. That's it. I thank John Allen for what he was able to give me last year. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. But do it more consistently. That's all I said. Bro. Be consistent throughout a game. Stop disappearing so much.
He was ranked the second or third interior defensive lineman by so many publications this offseason. Also has the sacks to back it up, has the pressures to back it up. Because, of course,
watch the games. Watch him.
I do watch the games, the whole game from start to finish. I do.
He's inconsistent.
I do.
You can't no-show against Seattle, bro. You can't no-show against.
What is a no-show? What is define no-show for you? Because I bet you he still forced a pressure or two in that game, even in his worst of games. What is a no-show? What does that mean for you?
He dominated against Seattle. Let's be real.
No.
The Oakland.
But
how those games went. No. Those are horrible offensive line. You need to. That's what I mean by Chris Jones. Chris Jones gonna walk up in there, man.
How many times have we had defensive linemen on Chase Young who have done nothing against terrible offensive lines in this league? Have not put up any pressures, not put up any tackles,
I've never
put up any sacks. I'm just saying, Jonathan Allen is right now our best defensive player, one of the best defensive players.
He's the best defensive lineman on our team, which is sad.
Who's the best defensive player?
That's the best defensive player. The best defensive lineman is John Allen, which is a problem. That's not good that he's your best defensive lineman. That's not saying a lot. That's actually bad.
I didn't even prepare for this in my agenda, but like we're just going off right now. I can't believe this man is really saying that Jonathan Allen is not on Chris Jones level, or he's not one of the best interior defensive linemen.
I said top 10.
Top 10 is no. He's top 5. He's top 5. I said interior defensive lineman. I didn't say defensive lineman overall, including edge rushers.
But
I'm talking about interior guys.
At least you gotta agree with me. Him being the best defensive lineman is bad for us.
Yeah, based off of where we selected Chase Young and the type of season he had last year, and also we have Montez Sweat. Yep.
4th. Now John Allen is your 4th, but that now you
wait 4th. Who's 3rd?
Well, Daron supposed to be 3rd, but he's not no more. But I'm saying
he's supposed to be.
I'm saying that
Jonathan Allen has always been a better player than Daron Payne. I don't care.
Why was he always a backup?
He was never a backup.
He was in rotation. He wasn't starting over Daron.
Rotation.
At any point.
Rotation.
Yes, he was in rotation because Matt Ioannidis was starting. It was Matt and Daron before John. Yes, that was it. And then John got this year.
Are you talking about during his 8.5 season?
No.
8.5
No. I'm talking about way before then. I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about that 2020 Ron Rivera first year, they put John in. That's where it started. That's where John actually was like starting. But he was in rotation before, and Daron was over him. Okay, let's say 3rd. John Allen is your 3rd best. Now you cooking with something. But as your 1st, we got problems.
Even in 2020, this is how much of a John Allen fan I am. Even in 2020, I was saying he was probably our 1st or 2nd best defensive lineman, and he only had 2 sacks. The thing about Jonathan Allen is he forces a lot of pressures. He allows for his fellow defensive linemen to rack up a lot of sacks. That he's a huge reason in 2020. He's a huge reason why Chase Young had the season that he had. Montez Sweat had the season that he had. In 2020,
I told
he's
you,
all right.
He was
all right.
He was good.
Shoulder shrug. He was good.
He was good.
Okay.
You know, I don't get easily impressed. You gotta follow it up for me.
What's up, Pedro? Shouts out to you as well for we're going to Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. Go Keys, as Abdullah would say. But Rob Thomas, yeah, man. And this conversation also goes out to all the people out there who think I disrespect this team too much or I hate on this team and all that. If you look at our Twitter bio, it says we talk realistically about all of our teams. And I think it's very realistic to say that Jonathan Allen was a top 5 interior defensive lineman in this league. Chris does not think so.
Based off stats,
and I think he's still off of
I can't argue with you if you want to say based off statistics. But if you actually watch, that's a lie.
Jonathan Allen,
top 10.
Jonathan Allen is one of the best interior defensive linemen in this league. I'm not getting off of that.
10.
No, top 10 is too low. We're talking about interior guys. Name me 10. Name me 9. Okay. Name me all the interior defensive linemen. Huh?
It gotta be a game where I say, hey, and it gotta be multiple games where I say, hey, John.
Name me all the interior defensive linemen ahead of John Allen. I ain't gonna
name all of them.
Why? Because you don't know them.
Nah. John has to dominate a game for me. He hasn't done it yet.
Channel member, Skins fan all day. Joining the chat.
That dude, you gotta dominate for me. He hasn't.
You still haven't answered the question of what a no-show means and what dominating means.
No-show is
for an interior defensive line.
You have no impact for no impact.
Well, how do you know he had no impact?
Because I'm watching him literally. He has no impact.
You're watching him. Your eyes are fixed on Jonathan Allen for the entire game.
I have a saying that I say. I don't watch the game. I watch the players. I don't just look at it from a fan's perspective.
That's also true. Imagine he had double teams because of this fact. He also had, again, all the attention from offensive linemen, from offensive coordinators to lock him up. And he still had 9 sacks.
And y'all know when I say this, he had Jay Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill, who was better than both those guys this year. So what are we talking about? He had those two, who actually had more.
You know why they were able to put up sacks? You know why they were able to put up sacks last year? Because of a guy like Jonathan Allen in the middle, setting them up for sacks.
It's specifically because they played as a unit.
Thank you. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you. Thank you.
What you mean based off the TV copy? The TV copy, he's right there on television. What you mean the TV copy? I'm watching him play. He doesn't move off the screen ever.
Bro, you are lying if you're telling me your eyes are fixed on him every single play during an entire game. I disagree.
Let me tell you, I specifically watch these dudes and I tell him what happens after the game. He doesn't see it because he watched play-by-play. He told me that.
Aaron Donald, DeForest Buckner, Jeffrey Simmons, I believe, Chris Jones. Again, I said top 5. Like, I've been saying top 5 this entire conversation. He's definitely top 5. Huh?
Nothing.
No, say it.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it. Yeah.
Come to me when he dominates the game completely. I haven't seen it.
Bro, I feel like you should watch everybody other than Aaron Donald and Chris Jones. So DeForest Buckner, Simmons. You should watch all these other guys game tape.
I'm just saying.
The entire game. You probably watched the highlights. The entire game, the entire Colts game,
That's all I did with Tim.
No, I'm not saying you don't watch the games. All I'm saying is have your eyes fixated on DeForest Buckner during an entire Colts game. You're telling me that his impact on the Colts would be that much better than Jonathan Allen. I think you could argue that he's better, but in terms of top 5, you cannot tell me right now Jonathan Allen is not a top 5 interior defensive lineman in this league based off of everything we saw last year.
Buckner, Simmons, I've seen those guys.
Chris Jones, okay, that's 4.
No, I'm saying those guys I've seen dominate a game completely.
You seen Simmons dominate a game completely?
I forget what game it was, but I seen him. It was
exactly. That's my point.
That's a primetime game. He crushed it, killed.
You know why it was a primetime game and you saw it? Because of the fact that we haven't had many primetime games.
We had one. Dallas. Where was he at against them? Nowhere.
Nobody was there against Dallas.
But I'm just saying, it's a primetime game. You brought it up.
Okay.
And I think Oakland was a prime. No, Oakland was like.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. No. I think Seattle was one. Was Seattle one? I think that was at night.
He showed up. Just because he didn't have a sack doesn't mean he didn't show up. I really don't get where you're coming from on this issue. Because I would kind of get where you're coming from if we talked about this last offseason, even though I've been super high on Jonathan Allen since the beginning.
Bro, that's all I'm saying. Like,
what was that?
Comparing in a game.
What was that? Stop comparing them. Huh?
No, I'm just saying I just need to see you and I just need to see him more consistently in the game. You gotta have more of an impact for me. Like, stop, especially against the Giants offensive line. Against the Raiders offensive line, against Seattle offensive line. Dominate that. If you can't do that, what am I doing with you? You know, like, come on, bro. Like, he should be getting 2-3 sacks against those offensive lines.
I'm not disagreeing that he should be getting more sacks or he has the potential to do that. I'm not disagreeing with you on there. But to say he's not, in the likes of a Chris Jones or based off of the sacks, based off the pressures, based off of all these stats, he's right up there. Pedro mentioned Simmons had 4 sacks against the Bengals. Again, I'm not saying Jonathan Allen's automatically better than these guys. All I'm saying is that he deserves to be in the conversation. And by saying top 10, I feel like that's doing a disservice to Jonathan Allen because of the type of season yet.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
That's what you're right.
And Dr. Pig here mentioning, bro, I think Chris and I we've been on the same wavelength when it comes to these two guys in terms of how much we don't like them. John Bostic, man.
I think they're going to bring him back. I'm not going to lie to you. I seriously think he's coming back.
That is sheer relationships.
Oh, gosh. I think he's coming back to camp. He might be cut after that, but I think he's coming back.
It's so funny how people talk about the leadership that he brings and how he's able to get other guys, set up for success and stuff. Yeah, in position. Bro, then why not be a coach, bro? Because he's slow. How many times have we seen the back of his jersey on like a pass player and he's trying to run down a running back or a tight end or a receiver? Like, I think we both agree. Like, we've never been on the John Bostic train.
I can't stand Bobby McCain.
Bobby McCain too.
If
just like Protech as well.
If they think that he's the answer at free safety, I'm gonna say
lost their mind.
Our defense would be bottom 5 this year. because that's how bad he is back there. He's not rangy. Shout out Rico Street Scores. I don't know where that came from. He's not rangy. He has no range at all. He's terrible pulling coverage. Now, my thing with Bobby McCain, I love Bobby McCain in a Landon Collins kind of role. Down in the box, he's great against the run. He's good closer to the line of scrimmage. I love him down there. Put him down there. Leave him down there. I don't want to see him in the back, which whenever we get to the draft talk, which is why I want who I want. But Bobby McCain,
wow, we're 40 minutes in. We still haven't got to that.
Yeah, man. Bobby McCain was a horrible signing. It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Protect to Tone about this several times, but like literally, I think it was that last game in New York that pretty much raised up his value by like a couple $1 million. And bro, he literally had 2 sacks against Jake Fromm, bro. But why are we putting that much weight?
People saying like Pedro, since you're in here, you got people saying, "Oh, he had a good second half of the season." No, he didn't. He was horrible. He had one good game against Jake Fromm. That was the last game. And you think he had a good season? I mean, that's the good second half. He had a terrible second half. He had a good game against Jake Fromm. I can go catch 2 picks against Jake Fromm. It's not rocket science that hard. What are we doing here? Get Bobby McCain out of here. I gave him 5.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. That's why we'll get to the
Anthony Harris that money last year.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, I guess the last question I want to ask you really quickly before we get into the draft combo, 40 minutes into the stream. Thoughts on Carson Wentz, what he'll bring to the table for our Washington Commanders?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to always say this. And I'm big on like rooting for Christians. Like I'm rooting for him for that alone. But I was the first one to ask him, I say, if we somehow ended up with Wentz, I would not mind that. This was way before the rumors even came out. I was like, if we can get Wentz some way, somehow, I would not mind it. I don't care. Listen, I don't care about the aside from the cap, because 9 times out of 10, we're probably gonna do something dumb with those picks anyway. So as far as from the capital, I love Wentz being here because I believe that he can be that top 10 quarterback that he once was. I believe that.
Why?
Because I just believe in him.
That's not a reason. Because I believe in someone.
You know what? Be real with you. The only reason why I believe in this team is because of 17. And that's why I think they made the move. It's because of 17. If Terry wasn't here, they draft the quarterback. I don't want to get too much into Terry, but everything is centered around Terry.
Really quick, this is the Bobby McCain point. A lot of I mean, he's not John Bostic bad, but he's definitely. How many people out there thought that we should have improved the free safety position this offseason, like before the Bobby McCain extension? I think a lot of people out there thought that. Yeah.
Bruh, let me just say one thing to Pedro. Go back to the game against Atlanta where it was nobody, and he literally ran to nobody, and Cordero Patterson just bombs on him deep, and he's wide open. He runs to nobody. That's who we're talking about here. I don't know if you remember that play. It was literally nobody in a flat. He ran to nobody and gave the deep bomb. That's Bobby McCain for you. But I digress.
On the Carson Wentz, yep.
Not to mention that Raiders game that we should have lost, that he passed interference and got burnt on that play. That should have been caught. But we're not going to talk about that. I remember these things. I got very good memory, and I can keep going.
Tim agrees with you there. But sorry to cut you off on the Carson Wentz thing, but to finish off your point, what were you saying?
Oh, but I mean, Carson, but like I say, everything is centered, everything's about Terry. If something happens to Terry, everything's screwed. I don't care. That's why they're getting Terry some help. Or maybe they may or may not. But we need to make sure he's fresh. So that's everything centered around Terry. They would never have made a trade for Carson Wentz if Terry wasn't here. They would have just drafted a quarterback. So they believe that this can be the Buffalo and us, we communicate. I think they believe that Terry is the Stephon Diggs to Josh Allen's Carson Wentz. So you get what I'm trying to say. I think that's what they think, and I believe that makes a ton of sense if that's them. Because I think Terry can put Carson Wentz right back to where he needs to be. And they're both Christians. So what are the odds of that happening? That's another reason why I have confidence, because he's a Christian. So I have confidence for that very reason alone.
Yeah. I'll just say this. Like you, I root for Christians. I'm Christian myself. Like, I'm rooting for Carson Wentz in that aspect. But in terms of like realistically talking about what he brings to the table, obviously much better arm talent than one Taylor Heineke that we had last year, seasons past. But I do. Well, hold on. I have to get to this point. Not to believe in Brandon Sheriff. Yeah. What is there not to believe in Brandon Sheriff? Brandon Sheriff is a great guard. Like, I think a lot of people, and I eventually joined you guys in saying that he was not worth the money. I think I did, but it's not mutually exclusive to say that Brandon Sheriff is not a great player or is a great player and to say he's not worth the money. I don't think you gotta.
Man, you agree on Brandon. I wanted Brandon to stay, and I don't care how much he wanted it. I'd have gave it to him. Because whether y'all like it or not, he's definitely on the Hall of Fame arc.
Yeah.
Another All-Pro here. Talk about it, bro. Another All-Pro here. He's probably gonna make the Pro Bowl anyway. But another All-Pro here.
Exactly.
Pro Bowl there. He's in there. He's constantly in the top 100 players, even though that's bull jive. But
Terry wasn't in there.
Yeah. But like, hey, Brandon, whether y'all like it or not, hey, we let 2 Hall of Famers go. Trent Williams and another one possibly in Brandon Sheriff. Let that sink in. And they're both was on the same O-line.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
But back to the Carson Wentz thing. So again, much better arm talent than one Taylor Heineke. I think he'll be able to stretch the field. I think that'll benefit both Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel when he stays healthy. And really our entire offense. I agree with you there. My thing is what Carson Wentz brings to the table, what he doesn't bring that I'm worried about is the intangibles, the keys to being a winning quarterback in this league. Last year, he won 9 games, 2 chances, 2 opportunities, win or get in into the playoffs. One of those was against the Jaguars, and I get it. He lost. Josh Allen and the Bills also lost the Jaguars. I get that. But he also had an opportunity against the Raiders. Wet the bed. I get the defense didn't help him, but still had Jonathan Allen, still had Michael Pittman Jr., who isn't Terry McLaurin by any means, but still a pretty good receiver in this league. And that's literally what ended his Colts career, those 2 games, in my opinion. He was not great in the beginning of the season. He had a great middle of the stretch and had a terrible end of the season. And my point is, do you think this team is that much better than the Colts roster right now to get us to more than 9, 10, 11 wins? I think being in the NFC does help compared to the AFC, but
I think that this team is an NFC championship team.
Whoa. This team?
Yeah, I do.
How do you go from saying Jonathan Allen is not a top 5 interior defensive lineman in this league, is not the star player that he is, saying
top
that this
10 is not going to sneeze at neither?
I know.
But I'm saying that because, listen, his offensive line was actually injured last year. That some people just seems to keep missing. Didn't have a good offensive line. He doesn't have.
Well, he had a great run blocking offensive line.
What does that have to do with him throwing?
Bro, I don't think a lot of people realize this. The Colts literally asked for the bare minimum for Carson Wentz. Sure, he did well. 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. But they asked for the bare minimum. You think our team is expecting for the bare minimum from Carson Wentz? No. We're expecting him to be exactly. That's my point.
But is the reason why we're expecting him to be that?
But bro, when's the last time a team expected more than the bare minimum out of Carson Wentz?
No,
expected more than relying on a rushing.
He's not. You can't make him into a game manager. That's not who he is. That's number one. That's not who.
But that's when he had his best season in the last 2 or 3. Is when he became a game manager.
No,
that's my point. Yes. Even though his talent shows you that he's more than that, I think what lies between the ears does not necessarily show you that he's more
I'm not. You don't put, and I've said this, the same thing with Stafford. You do not put guys.
Stafford's way better. Stop.
No, I disagree with
Stafford's way better than Carson Wentz. Stop it.
Disagree with that.
Stop it.
You can say that
Carson Wentz would not take the Rams to the Super Bowl.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly, but
I disagree with you for disagreeing with that.
guys like Stafford, guys like Wentz, like Carr, you do not give them the keys to anything.
Don't mention
Hold
Wentz.
on. You do not give them the keys to anything because they're not franchise quarterbacks. Those are guys with the right
franchise quarterback.
No, those are guys with the right pieces around them. They can.
When he has an offensive line or defense
with the right
or
running back around him. This is why Matthew Stafford was able to succeed. Hey, come here. We're not asking you to be a franchise quarterback. Just do your job. We're going to call the plays. We're going to play defense. That's all they asked of him. They didn't ask him to be the savior. That's what Wentz was asked with the Colts. He was asked that even with what's their name, the Eagles. Come do this for us. Whenever he feels like he has to be more,
asked him to be the savior. Did I hear you wrong?
No, not necessarily to ask him. The media put that on him, like, okay, like you alluded to a lot of times. Hey, they got Carson Wentz now. All he needs a quarterback. So now the media and that pressure put that expectation on him that he's the guy to help get them to where they need to be. That's not who Stafford is. You can't put that on those. They are not Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. Those, when I mean by franchise quarterback is a guy that no matter what the teams look like, you're a championship playoff contender, period. Because they're there. That's not Stafford. That's not Derek Carr. That's not Carson Wentz. You put those guys in a position.
Don't mention Carson Wentz in the same.
You put those guys in a position is to where, hey,
this Carson Wentz, this edition.
All we need you to do is to come here and play football. We're not asking nothing. We're not asking you to be franchised. We're not asking you to just go over here and just play ball. That's what Stafford did. That's all they asked of him, which is why he led them to the championship. They said, Stafford, it's all on you. They wouldn't have went nowhere. That's a fact.
All I'm saying is if we don't hit a home run in this draft, and we'll get to what that means for me right after this, but if we don't hit a home run in this draft, I expect 9 wins. And people have not convinced me thus far. All the people that have joined have not convinced me thus far that we should expect more than 9 or 10 wins out of this team this year with Carson Wentz. How?
If this team stays healthy
right now,
if this team stays healthy, you're an 11-win ball club.
Bro, even with the health, even with all the talent we have on our defense, the Colts had a better defense last year. They were 8th in points allowed last year.
They were better. Del Rio's fault and ego with the team.
Okay, but last time I checked, Jack Del Rio is still the defensive coordinator on this team. So what gives you?
And I'm of the mindset, honestly, that they don't have another choice but to do what they should have done, which they did towards the end of last season, where I actually put and play pairs in their proper positions.
Rob, people said the same thing last year. People said the same thing last offseason. Like you, Chris, have
you seen our schedule? Well. If we get,
I'm just saying, people said the same thing last year.
If we get 9 wins, Ron need to be fired. You don't get 9 wins with that schedule.
Oh, I disagree with you there. If he gets 7 or 8, probably.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying
9.
I say if he get 9, he should be fired. I'm firing you. You don't get 9 wins with that schedule. You lost your mind. There's no way in the world. With the talent that and everybody, like I say, this team, everybody has something to play for. Chase, he has a ton to play for.
What about the games they won? Carson Wentz wasn't spectacular in every single one of those games. I don't get this. Tim, obviously I respect you. Go sub Tim up, but I don't get this point. People love to talk about how the defense got torched in the last 2 games. What about the games in the middle of the stretch when they were winning games?
They had a down year.
Defense played very well. Huh?
You can have a down year.
Who?
I'm saying you can have a down year. Our defense had a down year. That's just a fact. And I think that was
he's talking about the Colts.
Yeah, I'm saying, and I'm comparing the defenses. Our defense had a down year because of ego. And the coaches trying to do different kind of creative crap that they shouldn't have. It's not a talent deficient with us.
All I'm saying is I respect all the opinions about why.
And you know what? And I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Where I got is 11-6 because of 17. I think he's that much of a difference. Get him the freaking ball. That's it. You get him the ball, you win 11 games. And I can make an argument. These last 2 seasons, we should have had well over 11 wins. Why we didn't? We didn't have a quarterback. That's the truth. We should have beat the Eagles twice. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
What we finished this season? 7 and what? 10?
7 and 10.
That's 9 wins. We should have beat the Chargers.
That's exactly where I think we will be. 9 wins or 10. 9 or 10, depending on this draft.
Should have beat Denver. That's 11 wins I just gave you. They'll be dropped. because we didn't have the quarterback. Even with the trash defense, if we had a quarterback, win those games. That's 11. That's 11. That's a double digit. All I'm saying is, Wentz coming here, he never had a 17, and that's the huge difference. That's the only reason why he's here, because of 17. And they believe in Terry that much. And I believe that this contract that Terry's about to get, they're about to use the heck out of him. So that's who I believe in. I believe Terry's going to carry us to where we're going to go. And I believe that him and Wentz, he's going to make Wentz that top 10 quarterback again, me personally.
All I'm saying, predicted 7 wins in 2020. That's what we got. Predicted 8 wins last year.
Well, I'm predicting 11.
I'm predicting
You're
9
wrong
this year.
Okay.
11. I hope I'm
we
wrong.
Stay healthy.
We win 14, man.
Add a caveat, if we stay healthy.
We never stay healthy, though. That's a huge caveat.
I disagree with
never
that.
stay. When's the last time we stayed healthy?
In 2020, we was healthy. 2020, we was definitely healthy.
And that got us 7 wins.
We had Alex. How many quarterbacks? Alex Smith, Kyle Allen. That's the reason. Let's be real.
But do you think Carson Wentz is a 4-win improvement?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
The talent says yes. The talent says yes. I know that people in the comments will be like, yes, heck yes. The talent, of course, says yes. But again, with Carson Wentz, it's all lies between the ears. And thus far, the last couple of years, he's led teams
though, bruh. It is all between, but he never had nobody with him.
Have you seen
him down and selling him in? And he's been asked to do so much. And that's why a lot of the players you see him, he's trying to do too much because he's asked to do a lot.
That's my point, Tim. That's my point. That's my point.
That has Tim.
There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who predicted 11-6 last year too, including some of the.
We should have been a quarterback.
But I was always like 8-9, bro. Nope.
We didn't have a quarterback. Now that's why you said it. Didn't I agree? But
no, I said 8-9. 8-9 before the season, as in like I expected Ryan Fitzpatrick to play more than a half, like 1/2 in the entire season. I still said 8-9.
I never believed in Fitzpatrick. I was believing in Heineke. Honestly, if I'm gonna be truthful. That's what I believed in, but I don't believe in that no more.
Okay, I appreciate the conversation thus far, Chris, but we have to get to the draft, bro. I think we agree on our top choice based off of my video series and also based off of what I've seen in your videos. Who is your top choice at pick 11 for our Washington Commanders? And give me 3, actually. Give me 3. Go down from
at 11. Honestly, I got 2. I don't have a 3rd.
Okay.
Because there's nobody that's 3rd that's gonna be worth that pick. Kyle Hamilton and Stingley. And to be real with you,
Kyle Hamilton's 1, right?
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton and then Stingley. Like those are the 2 guys for me. If they're not there somehow, then you trade out of there. I'm not taking nobody else there. The pick is too valuable for you to devalue it. So Kyle Hamilton and Stingley, those 2 dudes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Kyle Hamilton, 6'4", 220 would be our best safety since Sean Taylor. Rest in peace.
I disagree.
I feel like we always have to disagree on something. Who's been our best safety? Cam. Hamilton will be better. I love Cam. I mean, we had his dad, Coach Carroll, on this. But
now, if you want to say he has a higher ceiling, I'm not going to disagree with you. But I don't think he's going to be anywhere near close to Cam. I think personally, if I'm being honest with you,
so why are you picking him at 11?
I'm not going to wait. I love Cam, so let me not say anything close. I just believe that.
Why are you picking him at 11?
Because
why is he your number 1 guy at 11 if he's not going to be better than Cam? At 11,
now, I don't care. Okay, put it this way. Let me not. This take away that I never said not even close. He's not going to be better than Cam, but him coming here is what we need because I think one of the reasons why I wanted Hamilton is because that linebacker position, that versatility. You basically get 2 guys in one. You get 2 guys in one. He can play that linebacker position. You can move Ken. You can move the secondary around. Put Kendall at free safety from time to time. You can do a lot of different kind of concepts back there. That's one reason why I want Kyle Hamilton. Another reason is because I'm tired of teams just coming in. It's fairly simple to beat our defense. Go to the linebackers. Go to the left side of the field.
Exactly why I think we should win 9 games.
What?
Exactly why I think we should win 9 games.
But which is why I want Kyle Hamilton. So
which is exactly why I asked you why is your number 1 choice at 11 when you said he's not going to be better than Cam Curl. Who I love Cam Curl. Again,
he's not going to.
But he was a 7th round.
Not be better than Cam Curl is not bad. I I think he's still gonna be a top 5 safety.
Why is he not gonna be better than? I'm still stuck on that point. Like, does anybody out there in the comments agree with Chris on this, that he's not gonna be better than Cam Curl? Because I think you're still off the 420 buzz, bro. Because come on, bro. Kyle Hamilton at pick 11, 6'4", 220, ran 4.59.
Okay, that's cute. That's cute. You got to produce.
He did produce last year.
I'm talking about in the
Wasn't
NFL.
He like an All-American?
I'm talking about in the NFL. Not.
Why is he not going to produce in the NFL?
I'm saying he has to produce. I'm not putting over just because you. That's just like saying
but
Trevor Lawrence is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Remember the phrasing. I said, and you said that he's not going to be better than Cam Curl.
No, I don't believe that.
As in, that's a definite
because for him,
it's not.
I don't think if he's going to be better than Cam, he has to do everything Cam does, and he has to have the kind of impact that Cam has.
Why
can't he? Has to. If he doesn't,
but you said is not.
I'm saying he won't have that kind of. I'm saying he won't have that kind of.
Why not?
That Cam kind of effect. I'm saying he's going to have half of that kind of effect, but he's not going to have that total Cam effect.
Why?
Because he can't do a lot of stuff Cam can. You don't want to see him against no slack receivers. He's not ready. He's not all that good in man coverage.
He will get better. I'm
not saying he won't, but I'm not saying you don't want him there. Cam can do everything at a high level.
You're telling me Cam can do everything coming into the draft?
No.
Cam definitely has gotten better over the last couple of years.
I'm not saying he's not a better prospect than Cam coming out, but just because you're a better prospect, don't mean that automatically makes you better when you should get to the next level.
I agree with you on that.
I'm saying
is
specifically, I'm telling this, teams specifically say we're not going to 31. And they do it every game. Can Kyle Hamilton have that effect? Yes, which is why I want him, but not to the extent that Cam has it. So that's why I don't believe that he can be what Cam is. They're not going to say, hey, whichever side they choose, they're going to choose Hamilton's sides first before they go to Cam. That's what I'm saying. The effect is different. They're going to respect Cam more than they respect him.
If Kyle Hamilton will not be better than a Cam Curl, then he's not worth the 11 overall pick in the draft at safety. Like, remember, safeties are not a premium position. You only draft a safety at pick 11 at the top half of the first round.
You make it like Cam Curl,
or you have a very strong feeling.
Cam Curl, to me, is going to take over the best safety position in all of football this year.
Okay, but based off of what we've seen thus far, he hasn't. That's my point.
Because you have to build up to that. To me, he's the top safety right now. Period. And nobody
can argue
in that. Yes, period. I'm not taking 5 safeties over Cam because it's not 5 safeties that you could say, hey, I'm not going over there. They do that to Cam. The only other guy I can think of is probably Tyrann Mathieu that they do that to. Outside of him, everybody else, we eating over there. We eating on Jesse Bates. We not scared of him. We eating on Justin Simmons. We not that afraid of him. Those are the top safeties for me. Jesse Bates, the Justin Simmons, Jamal Adams. He's horrible back there, but I love Jamal Adams. But they're not scared of those guys. Teams and quarterbacks are afraid of Cam. Nobody has that effect in the NFL but him right now back there, as far as the safety goes. You can't pick 5 players that have that outside of Jalen Ramsey. He's a corner that has that kind of, hey, we're not going there.
Tyrann Mathieu, Budda Baker, Derwin James, Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, Kevin Byard, Jamal Adams, maybe. And that's actually, people would think that's a terrible take that I just said. Like, maybe. Like, anyways. Harrison Smith is still really good. You're telling me that Cam Curl is top 5 in the league?
Yeah. When teams specifically go in a game and they say we're not going to you, specifically, that's your top 5 safety. And not to mention he locked down Travis Kelce, but that's neither here nor there. Not to mention that Dallas Goedert game when he had $136 with no Cam, and Cam came back, and we never heard from Dallas Goedert again. I'm not saying. Not to mention against Green Bay when he was lined up against Devontae Adams in the slot, and Aaron Rodgers looked over there and looked at Cam Curl and threw it to the opposite side. Not to mention against the Seattle game, the 2-point conversion when DK was open, but Cam was over there. Russell Wilson peeked to the side and seen Cam 31. He came back to the middle of the field. It was a pick. That scares a fact.
Rob, John. Oh my! You guys are really making me go against Cam, which I don't ever do. I've never done on this channel thus far. But come on, man. Come on. Based off of what we saw last season, Jonathan Allen, if you don't think he's a top 5 interior defense lineman, he's much closer to being a top 5 interior defense lineman than Cam Curl is to being a top 5.
That's a lie.
Like, we got to stop off of what we saw last season.
That's a lie.
Like, come on, man.
Cam had a higher impact than he did.
All right.
That's a fact. You can't argue with him out there. Cam had a higher impact than John Allen did. That's a fact.
All right. Well, let's get back to what we opened with. No, I'm gonna leave it there.
I don't see, but like I said, another thing, I don't see Jack Del Rio or Ron Rivera asking the 4D lineman to go make a play in crunch time when they always call on 31 to do it every time. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there.
Kyle Hamilton is our number 1 option. I pick 11. I think we both agree on that. He brings everything, all the tools that you want out of a starting safety in this league. Everybody talks about his slow 40-yard time. I mentioned this in my number 1 option video. People forget. Tyrann Mathieu, Sean Taylor, somebody try to correct me, but no, look at his NFL Combine stats, or not stats. Look at his NFL draft profile. They both ran a 4.51. So they were a tick faster than one Kyle Hamilton. I'm not saying he's the same player. Listen, hold on, Chris. Let me get to my point. People, I'm specifically talking about the speed point. That people say, oh, no safety that runs in the 4.5s could do well in the NFL. Like, there are people out there who think that way. That's what?
I said, yeah, that's stupid.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the same player as a Sean Taylor. Even the thumbnail that I put up, I did that because I thought that Kyle Hamilton would be our best safety since Sean Taylor. That's why I had the thumbnail that I had. But my point here is that even with the slow 40-yard time, I mean, he brings all the other tools that you want out of a starting safety in this league, and I think he'll succeed wherever he goes. But in this defense, I think that would be my home run pick at number 11. Like I talked about my home run point, right? If we get a home run draft, then we potentially could win that 11 games or 12 games that people are talking about. I think you'd be a home run guy at number 11.
I think you will be too. I want him at 11. I'm clamoring for 11.
And Derek Stingley, you mentioned him as well. I agree with you. I mean, I know we have to go back to the 2019 tape to see when he was at his best, but
like Devontae Smith.
He did. But I mean, he also locked up Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, two arguably top 5, top 10 receivers in this league right now. He locked them both up in practices at age 17, 18, freshman season. He was great. I mean, he had 6 interceptions. When is the last time you've seen a college player have 6, 7 interceptions and also be locked down in coverage at the same time? Usually it's one or the other, right? Usually you have a lockdown guy who doesn't have too many interceptions because teams don't throw the ball at him. He doesn't get that many opportunities. But even with the few opportunities that Derek Stingley got, right, relative to other cornerbacks in college football in 2019, he still put up 6 picks. He still had multiple pass deflections. He still was a baller on the field. And again, I know you have to go back a couple of seasons to see that, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I think he's definitely a boom or bust guy. I think his boom, though, is greater than arguably any defensive player in this draft.
I don't think he's boom or bust. I think he'll be good. Now, whether he get the great, I don't know. But if he comes here, he's going to struggle because they're going to target him.
Yeah.
Because
but I think he'll.
But he's not
going to grow, and you'll.
Yeah, he's not going to be a weakling like Bobby McCain. But they're going to go to him. Oh, we're still not going over here. You're going to have to show me that you're good enough. They're going to eat on him. So he's going to have to show. But I love Kyle Hamilton. Because, like I say, the reason why I want him because I'm tired of teams just going to one side because the other side of the field is shut off. I'm tired of that. Like you literally do not I believe the teams going together and say we're not game planning for them to walkthroughs. That's how bad it is on the defense. You know, we know where we're going. We're going to eat the middle and we're going to eat the left side of the field up. And they just be walking up and down. So, I mean, bringing Kyle Hamilton here. I know a lot of fans want a receiver. I want a receiver, not at 11. I don't want to. I loved Olave last year. I want him last year. I don't love him at 11. Okay. Drake London, I'm more of a Drake London guy. But
I think the team might be too.
You said who?
I said the team might be too.
Yeah, because I think he could be Brandon Marshall. But I mean, like, give me Kyle Hamilton. That's what we need. I'm not gonna say you can get a receiver. You playing a crazy game because we don't have that many picks, and you picking kind of a third and a second of receivers. So, but if Kyle Hamilton's there, you can't just say no. You gotta say yeah, because when you look at the team that you're competing with, it's the Rams. To me, that's the only team I'm worried about. You get Kyle Hamilton.
The Bucks.
I'm not scared of the Bucks.
I know we beat them, but we haven't beat them in the playoffs.
I'm not afraid
of them. Tom Brady in the playoffs
nothing.
Is different.
They have nothing. What am I afraid of there? What am I afraid of? Their defense is horrible. Which I actually told you that last year. I said their defense was going to be terrible, and they was terrible last year. Like I said it was overrated. They're horrible.
Saying they have nothing is different than saying their defense.
I'm not afraid of Tampa. Tampa's irrelevant to me. And guess what? I'm not afraid of Tampa with Wentz or without him, because that little number 4 guy can beat Tom Brady. So I'm not worried about them.
You can't beat him in the playoffs. We haven't seen that yet.
I believe that game is more so Cam Sims' fault than anybody else's. I blame that game.
Beating a team in the regular season when there's no pressure on you is different than beating a team in the playoffs when there's all the pressure on you.
They don't have nothing. They lost everything. What did they get? Nothing.
What about their offensive pieces?
They lost some of the offensive linemen last time I checked.
They got the Patriots offensive lineman, one of the best in the league, Shaq Mason. What are you talking about?
Who?
They still have Shaq Mason. Look him up. You'll be shocked that they got him for a 5th-round pick. I literally said that was the best move of the offseason. People are sleeping on that move just because he's
I'm not worried about him. Gronk still ain't Godwin. Gronk old.
Godwin Evans.
We'll see. Maybe he need to learn how to catch consistently. Mike Evans, one-trick pony. Am I really scared of that?
Nice. He's talking about Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin here.
He can't catch.
The person he said.
This is why he was benched in the Super Bowl.
Consistently.
Am I wrong?
One of the best receivers in the league. He was what?
Super Bowl.
Benched.
He was benched in the Super Bowl. Yes, he was. They benched him in the first half. Didn't see him at all. I'm not saying, just saying. But I'm not afraid of, and to be honest with you, the team's not afraid of him. The team's not afraid of him. So I'm not worried about them. The Packers, bye. Get out my face. The Rams.
I think the Packers, for some reason, if they add receivers in this draft, like top flight receivers, they have 2 first-round picks if they trade up and get a Jameson Williams, who Kwesi here is talking about. Or I'm sorry, not Kwesi. There was someone else who mentioned Jameson Williams. I don't like 14, him either, by the way. Or trading down for him, huh?
I'm not.
Yeah, okay, that's what I want to get to next. Our second to last topic. So in between Derek Stingley and Kyle Hamilton, for me, if you watch the series, number 2 was Jameson Williams. I know you're not high on him, but let me get to the injury concern first. First off, I've said this in the video. I said it on previous live streams. There was an NFL.com article after he sustained the injury January national championship game, tore out his knee, torn ACL. There was an NFL.com article that said his injury timetable was 5 to 7 months. Then Jameson Williams, I think there was an interview in early April saying he was ahead of schedule. So injury timetable is 5 to 7 months. He's ahead of schedule. I think he should be ready to go by the preseason, if not the regular season. And in my opinion, even if he misses 1 or 2 games, I think he'll be well worth it because he brings much more to the table as a receiver in this league than any of the guys. He was the clear-cut number 1 receiver in this draft class. Maybe not Chris, but I'm talking about in terms of the scout community, in terms of the draft community. The number 1 Chris wants to disregard it as if like their whole lives don't revolve around grading these prospects. I know they're wrong several times, but like, come on, man. Number 1 receiver prospect, Jameson Williams, when healthy. I think he'll be healthy enough come the start of the regular season to form a formidable duo with Terry McLaurin. Prove me wrong.
I'm never wrong with receivers because I played the position. I'm never going to be wrong with receivers. I'm not saying Jameson Williams would be trash. I believe all these receivers can have some kind of impact for a team. But the hype of him, no. First off, he needs to put on.
By the way, thank you, Roger. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
Roger and I. He needs to have what I say. He needs to put on weight. And that Alabama game, that Cincinnati game, put a real bad taste in my mouth with him because he was terrible. Sauce Gardner, the number 1 corner in his draft, locked him down completely, shut out. Not only him, the other stud on the opposite end, and Kobe Bryant locked him down as well, to the point where they said, hey, you're going to the slot. He's nothing does good against number 1 corners. I'm good on him. You playing against other corners who did he play against during the season? Nobody's. He's a one-trick pony to me. Go route, run that. That's all he is, and that's all he's going to be at the next level. Nobody's going to fear him. Hey, you can go deep. I think he'd be a solid high-end 2. He's never going to be a good 1. Anybody's 1. The perfect scenario situation for him, I can see him going to the Chiefs. They can kind of do that Tyreek Hill thing because Tyreek Hill didn't really have no real skill set. Push Jameson Williams in there, have him be that Tyreek Hill kind of guy. I think that's his best option. But as far as him being a number 1, no, I don't see it. He's like 5 on my board.
190, 4.2 would have probably ran the 4.2s if he was healthy.
What does that mean?
All I'm saying is that there's definitely potential for him to be more than just.
If he can beat Deshaun Jackson, and I don't think
he's gonna be more than Deshaun Jackson.
Well,
I'm not talking about in terms of like, Deshaun Jackson's probably gonna go down as a Hall of Famer. Like, I think he still has like the most 40-yard touchdown pass catches like ever. I think he passed Jerry Rice at one point. I'm not saying he's going to be as good in terms of entire career, right? All I'm saying is that in terms of the traits, in terms of what he brings as a prospect, he's definitely better than Deshaun Jackson coming out of college.
Okay, I still disagree with that. Do you know who Deshaun Jackson?
Yes.
Do you know who Deshaun Jackson was? Bro?
Out of Cal. Yep.
Like, if he can, I think he'll be a solid high-end 2. I really do. I think he'll be a solid high-end 2. Everybody try to make this dude out to seem like he's Jerry Rice. No.
Who's making him seem like he's Jerry
Rice?
I'm
talking about he should be, he should be the first receiver off the board. Yes. Like, no, he ain't that. All right, come on. Like at 11? You want him at 11? You'll be cool with that?
He's my second best option, yeah. Based off of the reports that he'll be healthy come season time, yep. If he was not, if he had a Logan Thomas timetable where he's expected back week 5 or something like that, probably not.
Week 5 with Logan?
Week 4 or week 5, yeah. He had an interview on 106.7 with the Sports Junkies. I think it was yesterday.
Depending on how the schedule look, we'll see.
Yeah.
Like how it's mapped out as far as the teams, but
he said his goal is to start.
We need another tight end. We need another tight end. Yeah. Even if he gets back, it might
talk about it, Chris.
Yeah. It might get him it might take him 2-3 weeks just to get back into the fold. So we definitely gonna need because he won't be on the snap count. So it's definitely gonna be. We need another tight end for sure. And that's why this draft is so trade back. I will hope Hamilton don't fall to 11 because we need to trade back because we need to get a tight end. We need, there's just so many stuff we need. Roger in here is talking about a freaking linebacker that we don't need in the first round.
On the first, but maybe in the second.
Here you go. Like, we don't need a receiver in the first round, period. Like, we do need a receiver. Now, we don't need a receiver at 11. Like, we need a receiver. Like, I'm cool with my ideal trade back spot was the Ravens. I'd be cool with Olave at 14.
Little battle of the Beltways, okay.
Because the Ravens got 4/4. They got 2/3. If Hamilton, and we all know Ravens been dying to get a safety or a corner, Hamilton when Stingley falls, they might call. We can get ourselves a 3rd and a 4th from them. That's not going to hurt them. So like, and I'd be cool with Olave at 14 because that'd be your best value anyway. But in all actuality, I would like to go to 20 and get Olave. That's not going to happen because it's going to be long gone. But I'm not. I want to take any of these dudes in the top 15. None of them, personally. 15 on down, I got you. But 1 to 15, I'm good on y'all. There's no way. It's too much value in this draft, especially at the edge rusher position. You know, the 2 linebackers, Dean. You know, it's too much value. The corners, the safety. You know, it's too much value in this draft.
This is the second. Sorry, this is the second to last topic. Really quickly, are you against the idea of getting a running back like a Breece Hall or in the second round, Kenneth Walker?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna run it back because I believe in Gibby. We don't need another running back. I believe that's a chess play for Ron Rivera and company to like. And I think Gibby's actually pissed off, especially from the looks at his little conference he had. I think he's pissed off that people keep trying to play with him. So I think they did that to like piss him off even more, you know, to like say, hey, this gonna be your, you know, last bout. Which I mean, I just think it's to light a fire on them. I don't want another running back. That's a waste of a pick. For what? What I mean, now I do want another running back, just not that high. Because we need another guy that can take. And another thing, people need to stop hating on Patterson, man. Stop hating on Patterson. Every time Patterson got in the game, he produced. So I don't know why he's not in that mix. I really don't. But I think we need another guy to take carries off of Gibby. J.D. McKissick ain't that dude. We need to keep Gibby fresh. I think somewhere Jerome Ford, a Ty Chandler, those 2 guys that I love to come here to help out. That's who I love to come here and help out. But a Breece Hall, no. For what?
He has all the Jonathan Taylor traits.
He can have all the Jonathan Taylor traits. But I got a guy who can be way better than that. So, like I say, Gibby, only problem, I don't really think it's a problem, but it's just holding on to the football. Personally, I think that's not even a problem for him.
Especially on our side of the field, where a fumble could.
But I'm not worried
pretty
about
much
that, though.
Decide the game.
I'm not worried about that. It'd be one thing if he did it back-to-back years. He did it 1 year. You know, I'm not about to hop on you for 1 year. They're just like saying a guy can like he'll catch all these passes, then 1 year he just drops a lot of passes. Then everybody say, oh, he drops the passes too much. That's stupid. What about the other years?
That's fair.
It'd be one thing. It was like 1, 2, 3. Now if he come back this year and do that, I gotta shut up. But the way he looks and the way that the fans are pissing him off and the stuff he's hearing and like his demeanor, it's about to get ugly this year. It's about to get ugly this year.
All I'm saying is we could run a similar offense to the one the Browns have been running, with 2 top 10-ish running backs. I'm just saying, I believe in Breece Hall, bro.
I'm cool with that, but I think you could do that with a Jerome Ford. Ty Chandler, a guy late. I believe that Ty Chandler, I don't know if you've seen his game when he was like
Carolina
300 something with like 4 touch. We need a guy like because he could do it both ways. You know, it's Scott Turner. Okay. And here's another thing. I wanted to make this out too. Why draft a running back if you draft a receiver? Because I look at it this way.
Because you can never have too many offensive weapons.
I look at it this way. You draft a receiver. Couldn't you use Curtis Samuel as a running back? And then
but that would leave him more susceptible to injury, which is not a problem.
But he'll be a 4th. But this is the thing. You leave, they're going to use him that way anyway. That's the way they want to use him. But here's the thing. Now you got Terry. Yeah, that's the way they want to use him. They did it last year with the.
We saw the effects with Debo. I'm just saying.
That's the way he's going to be used here. Okay. Like, and I look at it this way. Let's say they take Olave at 11. Terry Olave Diami. Curtis going to get some carries. So what is the need to go get a running back when I have Curtis Samuel that I'm going to use as a running back anyway? Now, I'm not saying he's going to get that amount of carries, but I'm saying you get 5. Okay, now JD get 5. That's 10 right there. You know, that's all you're looking for, a running back to come in to take 10 to 12 carries away from Gibby. That's it. So you bring in Curtis Samuel coming back, you draft the receiver, you don't need another running back. Now you're just being dumb at that point. really. Otherwise, why you bring back Cam Sims? You know, he's going to get playing time too. So they looking to use Curtis Samuel other ways. That's why you're going to get another receiver also. So that's just me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement here with Bosky. I think you can never have too many offensive weapons, especially when you're trying to see if Carson Wentz can really be the guy for you. I count running backs as offensive weapons as well, and we can again build a similar system to the one the Browns have. Also, another thing is, I think it's sort of telling that they brought in both of the top, like clear-cut top 2 running backs in for a top 30 visit, whether it be Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker, who I'm not as high on. I think he's definitely a better college running back than Breece Hall, but I don't think he's going to be a better NFL running back. But yeah, that's just my point. The last question, though, I want to ask you about, Chris, before we sign off, appreciate you for being very gracious with your time, is where do you think this team, and I know we're going to disagree on this probably, where do you think this team ranks right now in the NFC East? And in terms of like the division, like what, one? Oh, I thought you asked the question. I thought you were like, what?
Nah, 1.
You said 1?
It's not a team in the NFC East better than us. The only team that it scares me, that's always scared me, was the Giants. If they can never get it together, that's the only team that scared me.
In the last 5 or 6 years?
I'm talking about these last couple of years, because their weaponry is ridiculous. Do you not see the weaponry that they have? Their problem is O-line and quarterback. That's it. They have everything else.
What weaponry?
The receivers?
Saquon, the guy who can never stay healthy? Kenny Golladay?
They don't have quarterback and the offensive line. That's their problem.
Those are big areas of need, bro. Those are literally the 2 most important.
They go out and get that tackle. Okay.
Don't say icky. No, get Evan Neal. I don't care.
That's the only team that I'm really, bothered by. I'm not bothered by Dallas. What am I bothered with?
Okay, there's a difference between not being bothered by it and like objectively saying this
team
team
you
is
seriously think the Dallas Cowboys are better than us?
I'm not scared of the Cowboys. I'm not scared of the Eagles. I'm not scared of the Giants.
But you have Dallas at 1.
Number 1. Huh?
You have Dallas at 1.
Yeah, I have Dallas at 1. I have Philly at 2. I have us at 3, and then I have Giants at 4.
That's terrible.
That's not terrible.
That's horrible.
How things sped out last year.
That's horrible.
That's not terrible. How?
In what area are they better than us at?
Who? Which team?
But all of them.
No, you gotta go one by one. So the Cowboys, better quarterback.
Disagree.
For sure. Oh my. For as much as we like to troll Dak on here, and as much as we love to hate the Cowboys on this channel, come on.
It's gonna be real fun.
This is what makes NFL fans laugh at our fan base, bro.
You know what?
With stuff like that.
I'm doing
that saying.
I gotta do it.
I'm putting all my chips on the line.
I'm not saying, Chris, I'm not saying over their entire career. I'm not saying the peak Carson Wentz versus peak Dak. I'm saying right now.
We've
seen out of Carson Wentz the last 2 seasons, especially.
Wentz. Give me Wentz. Period. Give me Wentz. I don't need viewers. Don't need it, because here's the thing. This is what always happens. The same thing I tell Tim. Y'all always don't agree with me. But when the season comes around and stuff starts folding, my comments say you were right. And this is just what's going to happen. But continue. You said Dak. Okay. Let me just say I'll give you Dak. Even though I'm not giving you Dak, but I'll give you Dak. Keep going.
Micah Parsons versus Chase Young. Jonathan Allen. I'm going with Micah.
That's one player. So you just say
I'm just saying that he's the game record on that defense.
Because that one dude it's not going to make a difference like he did. He's not going to make a difference.
I feel like I think the reason why you think we're better than the Cowboys just really starts with the quarterback position, right? Because that's the most important position on the field, and I think that's what's the source of our disagreement. Like that's the source of like why we think one team is over the other. I think Dak is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. Hence why the Cowboys are going to be top of the division, if not second in the division over us. Right now, if we hit a home run in the draft, if we get a solid receiver at 11, or if we get a Kyle Hamilton, and then potentially a receiver in the second, like a George Pickens or a John Mechie, who I know they're very fond of right now, off of the several visits they've had with him, then potentially we could be better than the Cowboys. But right now, as is, before the draft, I think it's crazy for us to say that we're top of the division right now in terms of overall.
They
team.
have nothing better than us.
Like, I literally think it's only our fan base that thinks that.
anything.
Or members of our fan base.
Safety position. Who's better? I'm asking you questions now.
Right now, overall, push.
It's us. It's not no push. We got Cam.
It is a push.
Corners.
They're better.
Corners?
They're better.
You lost your mind.
I did not lose my mind.
We got corner.
Bro,
Linebacker,
thank you. Bro, look at our Twitter bio. We talk realistically about DMV.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue linebacker. They got better linebackers. D-line, us. That's not even a question. Receivers.
In terms of talent, we're way better. But, bro, you could say the same thing about the Colts. In terms of talent, we're way better than the Colts defensive line. But, bro, talent is only half the game.
You just said push for safety.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
They don't have Cam. We do.
And we have Bobby McCain starting against one of our safeties. There's two positions at safety.
Cam alone gives us the edge.
Okay.
Linebacker, I'm not going to argue that. Because they got great linebackers. Even one that got injured last year. I forgot the guy, Cox from LSU.
Yeah.
They got great linebackers. I'm not going to even argue that. Corner, Draymond Diggs is trash. Like, those little fluke interceptions.
He's overrated, but he's not trash.
You
got to stop.
Okay.
Chris,
if you want to say corner, I'm not going to give you
extreme.
I'm not giving you corners. I'm not giving you corners because he's one guy. We have a committee. D-line, that should not be up.
Let me say this, though, Chris. I think we both agree on this. Our cornerback group, even before the draft, has the potential to be way better than the Cowboys group. I'm just saying off of what we saw last season specifically.
Receiving group.
That's tough. Off of what we saw last year, obviously Terry is the best receiver in the division by far.
Right.
By far.
We're talking about now, right?
But in terms of right now, before the draft, I know. In terms of right now, without Amari Cooper. Hold on, let me think about it.
How this is a thing? This is a no-brainer.
It is. Bro, we haven't seen Curtis Samuel. Who's our second best receiver on this team? We haven't seen Curtis Samuel in a Washington uniform actually show us that he's worthy of the money that he's gotten thus far.
Okay.
So how can you tell me
Michael Gallup didn't play that much last year? If we want to do that.
Did he?
Did he tore his ACL, right? Yes, he did.
But didn't he have enough games to show that he was still pretty
He tore his ACL, right?
Okay, but what point in the season?
I don't know.
Well,
if we want
let me look it up.
Curtis play?
Because I'm pretty sure it was late.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was late.
Yeah, Curtis played too. We want to do that.
He tore his ACL in early January, bro.
If we want to do that.
That proves my point. He was healthy for most of the season.
And what did he do?
Huh?
What did he do? I'll enlighten you.
Michael Gallup? He was good enough to be their number 2 receiver.
35 receptions, 445 yards. So let's just exit out him and Curtis Samuel. Now what?
CeeDee Lamb versus Terry. I'll go with Terry.
So we got the receiver position. Now
I like that number 1 guy on the Cowboys. I'm
not arguing tight end. And that number 1 guy, number 1 guy went to the Dolphins, by the way. Cedric Wilson.
Oh, the Dolphins. You're right. You got me.
Dalton Schultz is a freaking animal.
After some consideration, chat, I agree with Chris. I think our receiver group is better right now.
Is a different kind of beast.
Yep, cool.
He's an animal. Cowboys, I was crying for him this offseason.
I think where we might differ is actually, I don't know about running back. I think for you it might be easy.
I'm done.
I don't know.
If
you're considering both of the running backs, not just Zeke, I don't know.
Well, JD, let's do it. He better play JD.
I'm gonna agree with you in taking our running back group over the Cowboys. All I'm saying is that it's not as much of a blowout, I guess, as maybe some fans.
Oh my! Did you not see ENJOOOY last year?
is a blowout.
Bro.
They're talking about cutting. He would be cut right now.
Tony Pollard would be the number 1 running back on a lot of teams out there. Just saying. But they signed thankfully they signed Zeke to a huge contract that he's not worth right now.
Because they would have cut him. And they tried to, but they can't right now.
No. I know. But my point is, bro, nothing matters other than the quarterback. And the Cowboys have a better quarterback right now.
Well, I'm going to say
I'm not saying they have a top 5 quarterback because they don't. He hasn't won anything in the playoffs. He's 1-3 or 1-4 in the playoffs. But in terms of him versus Carson Wentz at this stage of both of their careers, I'm going with Dak, bro. If you guys in the chat go with Carson Wentz over Dak right now, I'm not saying career-wise, right now, I'm sorry.
I'm going to say this,
you're looking through burgundy and gold glasses, bro.
And you can write this down on your phone. You can write this down anywhere. Carson Wentz would be a top 5 in MVP voting as a quarterback. You can write that down right now. Okay? Write it down. Okay. Write it down. That way, because I know you like to say, you said this.
There's a time stamp.
Matter of fact, we got to show. Y'all go ahead and clip this. We're going to be 11-6 win team.
You said top 5. No. You said top 5 MVP. Don't back off of that.
Yeah, top 5 MVP voting. Top 5 MVP voting. Put that down. If he stay healthy. A caveat.
That's a huge if. That's a huge if.
Caveat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because remember, before last season, racked up a lot of injuries. Just saying.
That's why I put it a caveat.
Remember how you mentioned Debo? I'm going to use your argument against you. You said Debo was fully healthy last year, but previous season
that's fine.
All I'm saying.
That's fine. Just put it in there. I think we're healthy.
Okay.
If healthy. We have an 11-6 win record if we stay healthy. Because this is obviously health is pretty much off the table. If we stay healthy, we're going to be number 1 in the division, and we're going to the NFC Championship game.
I think the most realistic out of all those takes is number 1 in the division, because I don't think the NFC East has had back-to-back division winners since the Eagles 2003, 2004, or something like that. And I think again, if we hit a home run in the draft, I think we could potentially be the best team in the division. Also, we didn't even talk about the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, this might rub some people the wrong way, but I sent a tweet out earlier this week. I don't like either of those quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts or Carson Wentz. If you look at national news sources, aka not local, fans of this team, a lot of people think Jalen Hurts is better than Carson Wentz. And I'm not talking about arm talent, because Carson Wentz definitely beats him out on that. I'm talking about winning. What you bring to the table as an entire quarterback, all the intangibles, the leadership, the rushing ability, which people love to throw out the window as if it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters for Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying Hurts is on the same level. All I'm saying is that it still matters. Everything that you want in terms of the quarterback position, I'm going with Jalen Hurts over Carson Wentz. And I promise you, bro, look it up right now. Go on your laptop. Everybody in the chat, look it up. Top quarterback rankings for 2021 or 2022. Most of those rankings will have Jalen Hurts ahead of Carson Wentz. People thought I was crazy when I said that.
So when Carson Wentz destroys them twice this year, what are you going to say?
Wentz is better. Obviously, this can change. It's very fluid, like Stephen A likes to say. Okay. Like, it could change. But right now, as of April 21st,
that if we stay healthy, we go to the NFC Championship game.
All right. All I'm saying is that your number 1 division thing is probably the most realistic out of those.
And all of them realistic.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact,
are you looking up quarterback rankings, bro?
No. I was going to talk to you about the quarterback. I was talking about the draft quarterback, because I know, what? I'm going to ask you about one guy, because I do not like this guy at all. I think he's terrible.
Malik Willis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think he's terrible. I'm not going to use that exaggeration, but I don't think he's definitely going to be drafted way higher than what he should.
What grade would you have on him?
He's not better than any of the first-round quarterbacks from last year.
That's obvious. But what grade do you have on him for this?
I think that says it all, bro. He's not better than any of the 5 quarterbacks. In terms of like draft or round or like ranking out of the quarterback. Okay, well, he is a quarterback, so I would probably still say second. I mean, Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second. I'll probably
think him in the second round.
Yeah, well, not on our team, obviously, but because we don't really. I mean, he wouldn't be the quarterback.
Oh, you know what? I can't let you get away with that. Your Carson Strong take was terrible, and I was
it was strong, bro. It was strong.
Strong is one of the worst. Let me tell you something.
Bro. Are you?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one like
so you're right there with Tim. You're right there with Tim. Then
I do crazy breakdowns. I always tell Tim this. I do breakdown. I do whatever. I do breakdowns from start to finish. I didn't even care to look at Carson Wentz tape. I looked at him.
Oh, Carson Wentz.
I looked at. I mean, not Carson Wentz. Carson Strong.
Slip right there.
Carson Strong. I looked at Carson Strong one time. I said, "Heck no." His combine, awful. I mean, he was. Did you see his combine?
Yeah, it was slow.
Horrible. I mean. Now he got a cannon. Don't get me wrong. He got. To me, I think he got like a Pet Mahomes kind of, and Josh Allen kind of a like strong. I think it's that.
I think it's that. I think it's strong, but maybe like Carson Wentz strong.
You can rip it, but I mean, he slants. He overshooting them low. I'm like, what are you doing?
Josh Allen did the same.
They brought him in, okay, and people keep thinking that. Like, we don't need another quarterback. We might draft a quarterback in this draft because we only have two.
With you. Yeah, I agree with you.
And Heineke's contract up next year. And I hear little rumblings that they might be looking for a Carson Wentz insurance and policy. Now, I don't know if they would do it, but if Howe's sitting there at 47, they might.
You're gonna pair him up with this college receiver, De'Ami Brown?
They might. Some people crazy. They say we trade back and we take a quarterback in the first round. And what do we know about this organization? They will do something that beyond like. Listen, that's why I bring up the quarterback conversation. Now, people think that that's just like out the. Ron Rivera specifically said the ideal situation for us is a veteran and a rookie. Not saying, just saying. Shout out Louis T.
Yeah.
If it's Carson Strong,
yeah,
everybody gonna be mad. I'm gonna laugh because
I'm not mad.
It's gonna be Tim's worst nightmare, and I'm gonna cry laughing.
I'm not gonna be mad. I think Carson. I said this on Twitter. I think last year Davis Mills was my under the radar quarterback guy. Like I think Carson Strong is that guy for me this year. I will say this. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they draft a quarterback even as high as the second round. They probably won't, though, because they have other needs that they need to address. Hence why I think this is the worst roster than the Colts last year, even when fully healthy on both sides, both teams, I mean. But I will say this. We do agree on some stuff for the people in the chat who might think we don't. You agree on the Kyle Hamilton as your top choice. We agree on Brandon Sheriff. I mean, there's some stuff that we agree with, but we do disagree on a lot of stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'm going to end it here. Chris, I don't want to take any more of your time. Yeah, thank you, bro, for joining tonight.
I know. It's going on 2 hours of sleep.
I know. This is a little too long, but appreciate you for joining, bro. And thank you to everybody in the chat. I didn't get to everybody's question. I apologize, but probably have another live stream tomorrow, or I'm sorry, next week, where we'll discuss some of these issues. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Chris, is there anything, again, that you want to plug before I sign off?
What I'm going to say is when I'm right, tell me I'm right. That's it.
Okay, when I'm right, tell me I'm right as well.
Hey, I don't got a problem with it.
Okay. I hope I'm not right. I hope you are right. I hope you were more than right. I hope we win 11, 12, 13 games. We go off this year. I actually give this fan base something to cheer about. I hope you're right, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, make sure to go sub up.
That is hilarious.
Make sure to sub up Jeris' Corner, of course, on YouTube. And yeah, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the DMVSportsZone channel. We like to post fire content like this as much as possible. Also, go follow our Twitter page at DMVSportsZone, Instagram page, all lowercase DMVSportsZone, and our TikTok run by Abdullah at DMVSportsZone as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and see you on the next one. Peace.